You're listening to Living Podcariously, recorded live in the beautiful Nanana Studio. Oh yeah!
I knew that was coming. I was waiting for it.
You were waiting for it, weren't you? All right, so this is our very first show. Welcome to Living Podcariously. This is our very first show recorded live with all of our actual equipment in the studio.
We got some new bells and whistles.
Yeah, new fancy
some buttons.
We still have the old traditional plug bell though, so it's a real bell.
And my diary is still on pen and paper.
That's okay. I appreciate it that way more. I think I appreciate it more that way. All right, so I am Adam. I'm one of your hosts tonight. Sitting across from me in the Nana Studios on the couch,
I'm Andrea Joy, and sitting next to me,
it's Mr. Wilson. What's going on, guys?
we also have two very special guests sitting with us tonight in studio. One of them is more or less going to be our Living Podcariously admin, and it's
our show
her
mom.
husband. Our show mom. Dude, you just named her. Show mom Stephanie.
I'm cool with that.
I fucking love that.
Do your notes. Fucking be there on time.
that's
Yeah.
not Show Mom, that's
So-
Show Cinderella.
I'll take Show Cinderella.
Yeah,
I don't know.
if she's our slave bitch, then that's Cinderella.
Whoa. You
I
just
like-
renamed slavery to a princess.
I really like show mom though.
We'll take that. So
We've gotta
show mom Stephanie.
Yeah,
Steph.
what's up?
And
Go ahead, yeah.
yeah, all right. And you have to introduce him.
Oh, and then sitting over near me is my wonderful husband, Dan.
What's up?
They are no strangers to the Living Podcariously studio. They have sat in with us on a few other shows in the past. And Dan and Stephanie recently moved again. So we had lost, I don't want to say lost. Our teamwork family grew a little bit and moved out of state somewhat. So we had some Colorado residents up there for a while. And now that they missed us, I guess.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Did
it's,
not miss Florida.
No.
100%.
Just the people.
couldn't convince anybody else to move out of this shithole.
It's expensive. Not everybody can do that. I know we certainly couldn't.
I moved to this place
Why?
from
This
Oklahoma.
Oh, that
Oh,
makes sense.
yeah.
Okay.
Oklahoma was way better than I was expecting it would be. We just got
That's
back from
not
a
bad.
week up there. It was really nice.
It's
Okay.
great for vacation.
Until a tornado hits your house.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing. And I asked Andrea before we went up to Oklahoma. I said, "Well, are we going to be there during tornado season? Because that's really one of my fears is tornadoes." And she's like,
That's
no,
a good solid fear, though.
I don't think so." And sure enough, yeah, it was towards the latter end of the tornado season, but we were definitely there during tornado season.
We didn't drive through Oklahoma for a reason.
Don't blame
We still
you.
drove through North Texas.
Go Trump? I don't
No.
know.
Oh,
what's,
God, no.
oh,
Did you know
okay.
they give you a gun when you enter Texas and take it when you leave it?
That does not surprise. Only if you're white, though, right?
Well,
Is that-
yeah.
Okay.
And if you have a truck.
You know, that's the one thing actually that I remarked that with Andrea in Oklahoma. It's not, does your family own a truck? Come over and help me move my shit. It's, hey, come over Saturday with your truck. It's just an assumption up there. People assume
Everybody has a truck.
everybody has a truck in Oklahoma. I'm looking at their used market for when I buy Josh a truck.
Oh, that makes
It's actually
sense.
cheap. It was
That's
like
nice of you to buy Josh a truck.
he's got to
I
do
didn't know
well
he
in
was buying you a
school.
truck.
Oh
I
no,
know.
not
He's the
not
best,
that
yeah.
Josh. Not that Josh.
I'm just collecting cars at this point.
Yeah, fucking 12-wheeler over here. This guy's got enough vehicles to lead his own little army. Well, welcome back, guys. It's nice to have you guys back in Florida. For selfish reasons only, we missed you guys, and we're glad that you guys are back down here.
That's true. Yeah, it's pretty cool too. I mean, this did come up a long time ago.
Oh, sorry,
Oh.
didn't know. Hang on a minute.
Sorry, that's my.
Alexa, stop. Sorry, that's the other. Oh, surprise! We've integrated Alexa in the studio, so sorry. I was just like prepping it in case we needed to ask it a question. But Alexa, stop.
Yeah, this is really good.
Hey, that all stays in. Fuck it. That's just what
I
happens.
hate
sometimes.
that bitch.
Google's
No, it's,
way better.
No, I'm pretty. For totally selfish reasons, glad they're back. So these guys, Steph is my sister, and Dan. Not only is he my brother-in-law, like we graduated high school together. I've known Dan half my life at this point, and they're 5 houses down the road.
Fuck yeah, we are.
So
Yeah.
like with our new kid,
I got
and
an
with our
adult
next kid-
scooter. Like an adult Razor scooter.
All I can imagine is
And I
Like-
go back and forth.
something they issue you at Walmart when you come in and you're like 700 pounds. That's an adult
No.
scooter.
They
That's what I
couldn't
that's what I
stand on those.
pictured.
That's like a
Yeah, like a razor scooter, but made for fat kids.
She's
or
like Owen
adults.
Wilson in Zoolander. Just scooting around. I'm on the longboard.
It's not a very long trip, though.
No, it's short.
No, but we can go to Froyo too.
That's
I
true.
didn't even know there was a Froyo over there.
It
Yeah, right
used
by
to
that
be
gas
so
station.
much better. They got a new person.
Supplier.
What are they called? Supplier, yeah.
Well, I did
So
like
it's
it.
not as rich as it used to be.
Now it's ruined.
Why did you take that from
Plug for
us?
Froyo, I guess.
Sorry. But you don't
Butt
know.
plug.
So
Yeah, if you haven't tasted it before their supplier and you like it now, then it doesn't change.
No,
it's
it's
way cheaper.
It's the perfect dessert food because they show up and just you can buy candy and ice cream by weight.
yes.
Or
it
I'm
is
sorry,
super
frozen
fun.
yogurt.
Damn, I can get
It's
a
a
lot
fat
then. I'm
kid's dream.
all right.
It's
Oh,
super
you mean
fun.
weight of what you? Yeah. Oh, damn it.
It's a
Oh,
brilliant business
All you
model.
do is pick the lightest toppings.
Or you don't.
No,
If you want to see how much you can get in a cup just for fun.
I want dense sugars and dark
I want
chocolate.
cheesecake.
I
And
just
ice
want to
cream.
get
strawberry.
a cup though and just see how many things I can get in it for the cheapest. Like
So you go all
make
marshmallows.
it part of a scavenger hunt.
I always get like
Cup of
half
marshmallows.
the cup at most of Froyo, and then as many toppings as I can
Or
cram
he,
in there.
or he puts all his toppings in the bottom of the cone, and
Yeah.
then puts ice cream on top of it.
The cone's a flat price at
And then-
$2.50. So
Oh, you're tricking them. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I just have a ice cream cone. What are you
Right, but he
talking
puts all
about?
the toppings in the
17
bottom of
pounds of gummy bears in the bottom.
That's smart.
That is
Right?
pretty smart.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know they had cones.
yeah, it's like making a drumstick the right way.
We do want to we're going to give Josh an opportunity here to do a little bit of a love shout out for a teamwork member that
Actually, I'm really gonna bring Dan into this pretty heavy.
Oh, yeah, I guess
because
that's
this
a
is
good
actually
point.
Dan's best friend from his childhood.
all right. So
I
in
think
our
that-
studio in here, we have a teamwork banner hanging. Now, for the listeners, teamwork, we've said it a few times before, but it's a group of about 40 or so people that share life events and activities, and they're just a big group of friends, but it's kind of an organized group of
So
friends.
We're a cult, yeah,
It's a cult.
Yeah,
for
it's kind of a
sure.
cult.
We have a flag. We have stickers.
We have chance.
There used to be T-shirts.
These sacrifices.
You have
Yeah.
tattoos.
There's a few.
We
That's-
sacrifice virgins. And tattoos. Yeah, that's true.
There may have been virginities sacrificed, but not actual whole virgins.
So what so one of the teamwork members is your buddy. His name's Scott. So what give us the update on it.
New member. I finally, after years of trying to get him to come with us and get in on the game, from Michigan, he finally came down this year for our big annual camping trip. And so that's kind of how he got involved with everybody. And just 2 weeks ago, he was on his way home from an event out at the lake in Michigan, driving through the woods. And we don't know how it happened at this point, but he went off the road in a 90-degree turn, hit a tree. His car caught fire. He
Yeah,
broke
that's
his femur, chipped his shin, crushed his foot, cracked a rib, dislocated his jaw, fractured his wrist, and he punctured his lung with the cracked rib. And after 4 or 5 days and 3-ish surgeries on his leg, he made the decision to have his right leg amputated
Man.
instead of dealing with a lifelong of pain and bullshit and 2 years of recovery time.
But this is after they already tried saving his leg too, right? They pinned the hell out of it to try to save it.
They stabilized it.
Okay.
But he was still facing half a dozen more surgeries just to get it functional again, and he would still be dealing with like chronic pain. And that's a half a dozen surgeries if he doesn't develop any infections or complications. So he basically just made the hard choice, decided he's like, no, I want to get recovered. I don't want to be in a hospital for 6 to 8 months. I just take it.
Damn.
It's crazy. And this shit is nuts. So he had all of these injuries and he crawled, 30 yards?
Yeah.
That's what it was? 30 yards in that condition away from his car.
Just
before
like
it blew up
Which was
Like-
on fire.
Hands and elbows pulling him across basically
Through a
because he had no
ditch.
use.
with bones exposed.
Yeah, with exposed
out.
bones. Jesus
What
Christ.
a fucking monster.
That dude's
Yeah.
a beast.
In the middle of the night in the woods in rural Michigan, and out by where he lives in that area, there's a YMCA camp, like a summer camp, and there were some camp staff headed back to their cabins, and they actually heard him and saw the fire, and that's how he was discovered in this condition, because it was
Holy
like middle
shit.
of the night. There was nobody around, and it's a miracle he's even alive, but the fact that he was conscious enough to pull himself out of the car, had the strength to get himself away from the car, was actually found to begin with, is just so many things. At this point, he's a living miracle.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
Man.
Yeah, and okay, so 2 weeks ago, give or take, he posted a little short clip on Facebook yesterday morning of him doing wheelies in his wheelchair.
That
set to
Gotta
Eye of
love
the
it.
Tiger on the roof of the hospital.
That's
That's
adorable.
awesome.
This guy is a machine. It's
Is he going to go for a prosthetic? Is that his goal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the rehab, I guess, it takes to teach yourself how to walk in a prosthetic is probably exponentially smaller than what he would have had to dealt with before, having to rehab his entire leg to health and then relearn, all those muscle movements and everything anyway.
Yeah, and the damage to his foot was so bad he would have never gotten like full mobility back.
Damn.
As where like prosthetic technology has come so far, he'll,
he's gonna be Blade Runner.
He'll be leading a rich, full, amazing life.
We were coming up with cool Halloween costumes for him today. Like a shark on his leg.
I don't think I was.
You weren't outside.
I wasn't there for that. No.
No.
He needs to get that Ostis Pistorius, or I don't remember the guy's
He
name.
murdered somebody.
Well, all
What
right, that
about,
doesn't
like,
mean
a
don't let him murder, but
chihuahua
that big bow looking thing on
Yeah.
that
He
guy's
can run.
The
Yeah.
spring hook with
that
the
was
flexible
cool.
knee.
Hell yeah, that was really
Yeah.
cool.
The guy who got disqualified from the non-handicapped Olympics.
Yeah, and then people in the regular Olympics said, no, he's got an unfair advantage, and so they got checked. And like, so you're saying the guy that doesn't have legs has an unfair advantage over you? Is that really what you're? Well, all right, I guess when you put it that way, I guess he doesn't.
They were just salty because they got beat by somebody who's
Yeah.
handicapped.
I mean,
Absolutely.
think about how much. This is a little cold, but I mean, he weighs way less now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
absolutely.
does.
Like
Yeah.
that's a huge advantage, and he's got literally springs for legs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
things that
and
won't
they
get
require
tired.
no blood flow.
Yeah,
And they won't get tired.
Yep, his heart has to work a lot less harder than everybody else out there.
Yep.
But he's got no feet, so you know what? Fuck
That
it.
sucks.
Let him compete. Let him take the medals.
Mm.
Oh, that's like what if who's the Olympic swimmer?
Michael
Michael
Phelps.
Michael Phelps. What if Michael Phelps had an accident and he didn't have legs, and instead he put flippers on his legs?
He could be a mermaid.
I was about to say a mermaid.
I don't think that's fair to the other athletes.
In both cases, my
And-
made
yeah,
up
and-
hypothetical one and the
They got
Asteris
handicap
Pistorius, whatever one.
Olympics.
Yeah.
So would they be? I guess they would be
That's what
considered
I would
handicapped.
bet.
Yeah,
Mermaid
yeah,
Olympics.
definitely.
So we already have guys out there that are not detracting from Scott's story, because we'll get back to that in a second. But we already have people out there that are like faking mental handicap issues to go compete in the handicapped Olympics already, the Special Olympics, and taking medals and then getting shamed for that. So now we're going to have dudes chopping off their legs, getting the prosthetics put on
You
to
know
go
what?
compete in those Olympics and win the golds. Is that
If
where we're
you
going?
are like,
You know what?
okay
That's
with
commitment.
doing that,
It takes a certain
you
level.
go for it.
Oh man,
You deserve it. And you probably have a mental handicap if you're chopping off your leg.
That's true.
You want that gold so bad?
There's a large debate on this exact subject in like competitive physical sports, of specifically dudes going through gender reassignment so they can
Oh, yeah.
compete in female divisions of MMA and weightlifting.
Yep.
And it's, for some reason, that's a really divided issue. Like in some sports, there's not much of a tennis, okay, whatever, but
Go gadget arm.
like it's really, there's a lot of information on it out there, and there was the one dude who
Did it, and he went through that, and I guess she went through that, right? She now.
Yes.
So his entire life until his mid-30s, and he goes through gender reassignment, and so he is now she, and then she becomes a professional weightlifter and starts crushing standing women's records. I mean,
because
is
like
it?
shattering
those
records.
are man muscles.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a very divisive issue, but it's a perfect example of what you're talking about, where they can't keep up. If you had female hormones your entire life, if you've had male hormones your entire life and then go through that, you don't suddenly just drop muscle mass to an average woman's size. I don't think
a man
that's
is stronger than a woman.
Yeah, hands down. We're
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like they could make a lot more money by branching out a new division of transgender athletes.
yeah. I mean,
Like you could branch off a whole new division, and there are millions of people out there who would love to see that specifically.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here and take the other side because I can see it from both angles, but everybody in here agrees for the most part so far. So I'm going to take the other side of that. If you're born a man
Mhm.
and you identify as a woman, your whole life, even let's say even from a young age, it doesn't matter. It's not, as we all know, it's not a learned behavior to become a different gender. At least that's how that science works. So this man that's born a man and is a woman that's born a man, and then later goes through that gender reassignment, they want to then be known as a woman. That's their gender of choice. That's what they identify as. They don't identify as transgender, but they would be put in that category of transgender Olympics because they've gone through a transformation of their body.
Isn't lifting weights kind of a manly thing to do, though?
No,
Not necessarily. Lots of women do that too.
I know lots of women do, but they're kind of manly women.
not true.
that's not true at all.
They're tough, very strong.
Bodybuilder women,
No.
yes, but
With-
there are
yeah.
plenty of women who could whoop
That's
my
what I'm
ass
picturing is
weightlifting who
body
are-
Like
building.
April. Do you know April? Derek and April?
Oh yeah, we've
Yeah,
had Derek and April
But
on the show.
I'm picturing talking more about people who are in this sport.
Yeah.
Who are doing stuff like that. Like,
competitive lifters.
yeah, if you're going to be being the transgender going into it, like you're wanting to be more woman, you're wanting to be more female, why do something that's such a manly sport? If you're wanting to be in touch with the female inside of you, why not do more lickety-like things like tea parties?
So
Competitive
those
tea
are
parties.
societal expectations of
Oh.
women, which they're also completely against. But it's more the balls. You had those balls for 30 years, giving you all that testosterone, making you harder, better, faster, stronger, and then you just became a woman, and you go and crush every world
not
record in front of
fair.
you.
It's not fair.
We are the men.
We're
Men are
built
the better
differently.
species.
Whoa,
Like, I think
whoa,
there's
whoa.
so much equality and there should be and stuff, but when it comes to things that just are not fair, it's just.
But that
not
goes the other
fair.
way too. So if there's a woman that is born, I mean, she's born female, but
And
she
can make
identifies as
sandwich
male.
better.
She inherently has that ability, but she identifies as male, then she's going to have more of a challenge competing in male sports, competing in sports that are male gender associated. So men's triathlons or men's soccer or whatever, you name it, she'll have a harder row of it because she literally doesn't have the testosterone and the muscle mass that men have developed throughout their lives. So it's an interesting
Racehorse
question.
jockey.
So the thing about it is that if you take the opinion out of the equation and you just talk about the fact of the matter, a person who, in Dan's starting example, a man who goes through gender reassignment, becomes a woman, and then enters weightlifting competitions has a extremely distinct biological advantage. And that's not whether or not I think that person deserves to compete there. They are at an advantage because they've had their entire life
Sure.
doping testosterone up against all of their competition.
Biological is the perfect word.
Yeah.
That's
And
what I was
then-
trying to think of.
And then on the other side of that, if a woman goes through that and they're able to compete at a men's level on people who have had that testosterone their whole lives, I mean,
Same argument. Biologically, she is at he
it is.
is at a disadvantage because of how he was born.
right.
It's exactly the flip of the coin. They
And-
have the more difficult road than
And that
the
is
male
why
has
they
with competing in female sports.
should not be considered in the same category. Like, they deserve to be on an even playing field with their competition.
It's hard for us. I mean, we're all intellectuals, I like to think, but it's hard for us to debate these perspectives not having ever, not understanding. We get the science behind it. We understand the science, the physiology, the makeup, but what we don't understand is the emotional side of this story. We can't, any of us can't argue the stance of why a person born female that becomes male or vice versa should compete with the gender that they associate with. We just can't do it because we're ignorant, not by choice, not by lack of education, just because we've never lived that. So we don't understand that those emotional arguments that we should have for or against. We just know the science behind it. The science would absolutely say, yes, one would have a disadvantage, one would have an advantage. There's nothing you can do about that. But is it our choice to say? I mean, if we were given the president for a day type of mentality, if we could set that in stone, would we all say make a separate transgender competing group and then let the men who used to be women and women who used to be men compete together against it? Or should there be subcategories there? You know what I mean? It gets difficult.
Yep.
Weight class.
I mean, weight class is a good way. They're already divided into weight classes.
Still stronger.
That's how the records are recorded.
They can all compete, and obviously the biological male is going to win all the competitions. So we'll just have that be like, okay, duh, you win, and then see who the best biological female
What about
is.
like figure skating or like inline track or like
Well, that's
speed
different.
skating?
We were specifically talking about fighting or bodybuilding or
Yeah.
what is it called? Weightlifting. That's
I mean,
the word.
it
Yeah,
doesn't-
skating does take quite a bit of. I mean, some of them do. Speed skating takes a lot of lower body strength. But,
be able to run.
Figure skating, though, you can have somebody. Good one. You can have somebody who is lower physical statute still compete with the strongest figure skater, just simply because it's technique. It's
Sound like a bong.
what? What is that? Oh, is that our dishwasher? I said no dishwasher during the podcast.
I started so long ago. Like hours ago.
Well, how would you know what a bong sounds like? This picks it up so well too. Our high
My
end
water
studio.
tobacco bong.
Yeah, for water tobacco.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. We detracted quite a bit from Scott. So I guess the message.
Take that up off the
Boy.
shelf. Put that back on the
Yeah,
table.
Scott. So we went from you in your car accident to discussing how you're going to be competing as a woman now. I don't really know how we did that, buddy. So if you're listening to this,
Sorry.
yeah, well, our bad.
We figured out the Halloween costume.
Gun leg.
A one-legged figure skater. Does he have both? He has just lost one leg, correct?
Just
Yeah.
one leg.
Okay.
Just his right leg.
No, a
Man.
one-legged female transgender MMA fighter.
He could be
He's
Cherry
not
from
beef-
Planet
he's
Terror.
Not like beefy.
I don't know
He's
who that
tall
is.
and lanky.
That's what's going to make it a great
So-
costume.
There was a movie about 10, 11 years ago called Planet Terror.
Huh? Never
And
saw. it.
there's a stripper, go-go dancer. Go-go, not cry. She gets her leg ripped off by a zombie.
Oh,
So her boyfriend, I don't know, the hero of the story, El Rey, he crafts her a prosthetic leg. It's just a gun. It's an M16 with a grenade launcher.
wasn't that in a movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Planet Terror.
That one.
No, there was
Yeah,
another one
by
though.
Tarantino.
Oh,
It
by
was-
Tarantino, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
Oh.
like a movie that was split into. It was two movies.
Like
in
two
one.
separate movies, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My
One of
bad.
the greatest theater experiences of my life.
Really?
It was incredible.
Interesting. Tarantino is considering retiring this year because he's now made 10 or he's making his 10th movie.
Well,
And he said at 10 he's going to be done.
Well, he said he was retiring after 8.
And
And
Hateful Eight
he's
came out
just
already.
bringing out 9 this year.
Yeah, I think those paychecks will convince him differently. All right, so Scott, thank you, buddy, for hanging in there, for inspiring, a lot of people, at least to our teamwork group.
Yeah, for being a fucking beast, dude.
Yeah, no shit. I know Teamwork put together a lot of stuff. Does Scott have like a GoFundMe or
He
does
does.
he-
There is a GoFundMe.
You
It's
get plug that thing?
I can send it to the Living Podcariously page.
Okay, yeah, and it'll also be for the listeners if you want to read the story about Scott and maybe throw him a bone here or there. In the show notes of this episode, we'll link up the GoFundMe. Do you know what it actually is? We can say it too.
I don't know the actual name. He's
I
also
think
a very
it's Scott's Recovery Fund or something.
All right.
Scott's Camera Fund.
We'll look in
Because
the break.
he's a photographer and his camera and his phone were
his
burned up in the car.
giant
Oh, no
equipment,
shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
So they're
You
trying
could also
to...
share the link to his photography work if
Well,
anyone
Oh,
wants
deal.
to check that
That's
out.
easy.
Yeah,
that's super
we'll
easy.
get
he's a
those links
beautiful
together.
photographer.
Confirm it when we take our break, and that way we can actually plug them proper when we
Yeah,
come back.
absolutely. Yeah, that sounds good. Just because I want to try this several times, I want to take a break here. I was trying to do this where we wouldn't have a bunch of edits that I'm going to have to do after the fact, but we'll have
I
to
can't
do
believe
this.
it's only 25 minutes. You know how slow that is when you have to go to pee.
You have to pee now? All right.
But luckily, now you can do so.
You mean your
Yeah, dude,
tobacco
drink some
pen?
drink.
This Miller Lite
Adam,
is
you-
making me super gassy.
You have any beer?
Yeah, scotch.
Yeah, I've got a lot of... Oh, I hit the plug bell by accident.
Plug that
I don't have
scotch.
any beer, but I've got a lot of really good liquors up there.
That'll fucking do.
All right, sweet. Well, let's listen to a little bit of True Phonic. We are going to take a break in the Nanana Studios, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Nah.
Don't say I'm on there.
Say it again.
Take out that I'm gonna pee pee.
Oh no, we're leaving PP in there.
Tinky Winky.
You never try if you have to, but you can't survive if they will let you. Will you hide away in a bedroom? Oh, is that really just what you used to? Oh, so you're putting some pictures, trying to make it a home, but it's a home really a home if you're eating alone. You find yourself waiting on the ring of the phone, swearing to yourself that you're finding your own. Searching for your direction, but though you're reaching out to someone, only see your own reflection. Oh, still putting no pictures, trying to make it a home, but it's a home really a home if you're sleeping alone. You find yourself waiting on the ring of the phone, and swearing to yourself that you're finding your own. Come on. Such a lonely world, a world of inequality. Are we searching for a cure? Are we choosing to ignore? We're seeing more, hey, misery. So I'm a Branson. No, I've never been a man for gambling. Only I decide my fate. No, I'm sure nothing will ever change. Oh, so I'm taking down the pictures of my so-called home, where I was sure I would spend my whole life alone. Ain't nobody on the other end of the phone, but my misery is slowly turning into a song. Yeah. Oh, it's such a lonely world, a world of inequality. Are we searching for a cure? Well, are we choosing to ignore? We're seeing more, hey, misery.
You know, there's something about hearing True Phonic live on the air as we're recording. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies. No, the good heebie-jeebies. What's good heebie-jeebies, Andrea?
Tingly winglies.
That. We'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm definitely geeking out over the new equipment too.
All right, so
welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back to Living Podcariously.
All right.
So something about teeth?
Okay, yeah, I have been chomping at the bit during the break. I got shut up like 3 times. So last night, Steph and Dan, I was hanging out at their place, and they recommended that we put on this movie called Teeth from 2007. And if you haven't seen it, it is the most B-rate thing of all time. It was wonderfully gory. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. So the principle behind it...
How gory? Are we talking like...
it's not like when we made you watch The Goonies or anything.
No, this was...
It's like sporadically gory.
Human centipede?
There are...
No, not that bad.
No,
I've seen that
not
movie.
Even
not
close.
that bad.
Okay.
Not even close. So it's about this girl who grew up near a nuclear power plant.
Keep going.
And she has teeth in her vagina.
All right, I'm done. I'm checking out there.
Everything that just went through your mind that would happen if you were a 16-year-old girl with teeth in your vagina, all of them happen.
So when she has an orgasm, does it clench up?
No.
Does she have to brush her vagina?
No.
Does she go to the dentist?
Does she care if they're white or not?
Did she need braces?
We could do this all night, John.
It all comes down to like if she wants to have sex or not. Apparently, there's a lot of creepy ass dudes in Nuketown.
Holy shit!
Why don't you just get them removed?
They're like shark teeth.
Well, wait, does she have
and she went to a doctor.
She didn't
and the
know
doctor
she
fingered
had
her.
them.
Does she have the ability to control the teeth like her mouth? Like she could open and close them?
She develops that.
Can she
Yeah,
eat
she-
with
Oh.
her
Throughout the
pussy?
movie.
But initially,
I don't
she's
know.
a
That's
she's a
weird.
purity vow preacher, and she's like straight up purity virgin. Like we can't see the PG-13 movie; it has too much heavy making out.
For like 2 days, though.
Oh,
and then
dear.
she gets raped, and her rapist dies.
Yeah, because she chomps it off, which is why Josh was chomping at the bit.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah,
It's a comedy, by the way.
it's
So
Netflix?
bad.
Where are we watching
no.
this?
YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Oh,
Free
really?
right now.
Full movie, yeah.
Yeah, the full
Teeth.
movie. Yeah.
But
Get them
it's
removed.
hilarious.
Take the teeth out.
But then do you have like 90-year-old woman gums down there? Like,
I mean, it's better than teeth.
Better than teeth.
is it though?
Teeth.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess, whatever. It's just part of the movie. I guess the movie's like 13 years old now, so spoilers. I guess fucking deal with it. But part of the movie is that when she wants sex, there are no teeth there, and it goes perfectly fine and normal.
They're like cat claws.
It's a defense thing.
Nice.
And it is a true myth. Or like, it's a myth. It is a real thing. We Googled it.
Yeah.
That's true.
I
yeah,
do
we-
the same thing.
Vagina dentata.
It's
So
a thing.
it is a real living, breathing, human controlled chastity belt.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's basically
Don't
what it is.
piss me
I don't
off,
think it
Adam.
breathes.
Yes,
so.
ma'am. I won't.
They're like shark
Yeah.
teeth, is how they described it.
But that was the most fascinating part of it. Is this is a real, like, primitive tribal legend that it shows up in multiple different ancient cultures.
Now, does it show it?
No,
No,
it shows lots of severed dicks.
Lots of them.
Oh yeah.
What? I want to. If
But
A
no
Rottweiler
toothy
eats one.
pussies?
I guess in this case she is 16 years old, so there would be some sort of social taboo.
Oh,
I would
bonus.
imagine.
You also get to see her topless in the movie.
I just said she's 16.
I
That's
know.
a little creepy.
I
Child porn
understand.
is okay if
Ew.
it's
It's
fake.
fucking really weird.
Oh, okay.
It is really weird.
But it's very
You almost have a
fitting for
6-year-old
what's going
daughter.
on in the movie
Ugh.
at that point. But yeah, it's just the whole movie is there's just so much cringe the whole time.
It's so
Yeah.
bad.
Just and like they really captured the uncomfortable like teenagers getting into their sex life and like figuring out what that is and how uncomfortable and awkward that is for everybody.
Oh yeah, that's.
Perfectly captured.
There's been a bunch of movies throughout the years that have dealt with like that coming of age type of teenager emotions and drama and sexual drive and those kinds of things. There's been a bunch of movies like that.
Yeah, it's a
Didn't
great
like any of
breakup
them.
movie.
It's a great breakup movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah. Think about it. I mean, as a female,
Huh? Well, all right. I guess.
I mean, because
I always watch movies where I cry.
Oh, why?
I don't know, just to get it out.
Just get it out, get it
cry.
over with.
Woo-hoo-hoo, and chocolate and ice cream.
I feel like more dudes should do that. And if you can't cry on an emotional level, you should. That's probably why most guys go and do self-destructive physically painful shit after breakups because they got to try and exercise their demons.
Or you just go to the bar and find someone new.
That sounds
Yeah,
miserable.
That's
Be
a
a
lot
slut.
more difficult than you would think when you're pathetically sad.
So the rule of
Chicks want to
10.
have one night stands with guys who are confident and dripping with masculinity, not some
Basically.
sad fuck who's crying in his whiskey.
That's true. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if I would. I might talk to
unless
him.
you're an incredible liar and you can come up with a really
It wouldn't be to sleep
endearing
with them.
tale as to why you're sad.
I would just want to are you okay?
Mother
dude?
them?
Yes.
I don't know how to segue from that into
Yeah.
this, but we're gonna discuss something called trash versus treasures. So I want your guys' opinion on this. And one of our mutual friends, Kim from Team Teamwork, Kim D up in Jacksonville, she made a post on Facebook about this, that her and her husband now, right? Are they married or
Boyfriend.
I don't think they're married.
boyfriend? Okay, her boyfriend Ross found something, and it was a huge mega score for the two of them. They found some brand new, still in the box, but thrown away shoes on the side of the road or somewhere. I don't know where exactly they found it. But that led Andrea, and ironically, I looked at that post at the same time Andrea came up with this topic, but it's talking about finding treasures in other people's discarded items. So
It's like a shopping mall on the side of the road.
It's amazing.
That's where that North Pole sign came from.
Is that why it smells like garbage in this corner?
and bum piss.
No, it's just because you're there.
It's bum piss over
Abigail's
there.
jumperoo upstairs was found on the side of the road.
That's true. One of the toys that she loves the absolute most out of anything else we have in this house is something that the girls, her and her sister, found on the side of the road.
Craigslist free.
It's all the
is an
cocaine
amazing
residue.
Section.
So I think Craigslist free or Facebook marketplace for free, curb alert type stuff is different than going and rooting through somebody's garbage that they had no intention of letting people come root through to begin with.
You don't
I get it.
root.
It's not their property anymore. Once you put it out by the road for pickup, then it becomes public property. I got that.
It's
I just-
on purpose.
I just
People
gotta
put
be
it
able
out
to
there on
see it.
purpose.
Like if I can see something, I'll look
Yeah.
at it. But
Granted,
I'm not
Do you-
digging.
you're not dumpster diving.
Dig through strangers' garbage?
You
No,
just
that might have
drive
come out the wrong
by.
way. No, I agree. There is to me a 100% definitive line between you are a bum and not, because if there's Andrea, this is a great example. There was a little miniature kids trampoline here on this street. On the way out, she wanted me to stop and look at one day as I was heading out. I'm like, all right, so I'll stop and I looked at it. It was a piece of shit. It was trash. It was a piece of shit. I thought it was a piece of shit. She might have not thought that, but I did. So I get it. So as long as you can see it, from the road at a distance, then just fair game. Then go in
Got
there.
a slide, a little tight slide.
We did get a little
found
slide.
big metal dog crate, like one of the
Really?
the extra
Yeah,
extra
one of
large
the,
ones in great
$200
condition
ones.
Damn.
across the street from our house.
I still think, man,
we
I
had
don't-
that thing
Some
till we
stuff's
moved back.
good. Just like when Erica moved, that great coffee table. You guys
Yeah.
just didn't need it, and we didn't have a place for it. But it was a beautiful glass coffee table, so we're like, let's put it out there, and someone will get it.
And
Someone
somebody
took
came and
the
got it.
AC unit.
I was about to ask that question. Is it because when Erica moved
Yeah.
out? So Dan and Steph are renting Andrea's sister's Erica's house. Too many plurals.
Becca's house.
Possessive
It's the
plurals
Becca
is difficult.
Cabana.
And we were cleaning it out, and there was an old AC unit that one of her ex-boyfriends stole from a house he was having foreclosed on. Long story. Same guy who had that object in the bed that you guys found out about. We didn't dime
Like
this
the
guy
butt
out.
plug?
So we didn't
The
dime this
butt
guy out for that.
plug.
The butt plug.
But
Wait,
we
you're
make
going
jokes
off
about
course.
the butt plug all the
The
time
butt
now.
plug. Actually, the baby found the butt plug.
Yeah, that's
The baby
scarier.
did. She didn't get it though. We stopped her.
The listeners are super confused. When Erica was moving out of her house, her guest bedroom, which was nice, she had a nice bed, and it
It
was
wasn't a guest room. That was my daughter's bedroom.
when she stayed over the night, whatever.
Wow.
Well, in between the mattresses is where this object was found, and one of Erica's ex-boyfriends, his name is Scott, yeah, I'm straight diming him out for this because it was his, left one of his sexual pleasure devices in there. I'm not knocking the guy for using butt plugs. Hey, if that's what it takes to get him off, fine, so be it. But you don't leave it in your ex-girlfriend's house, especially in the bed where a kid sleeps between the mattresses. That's just
There is one
Not
condition that you do that.
He has uncontrollable night shits.
He's a marathon video gamer.
I was just gonna say, if it was a shitty breakup, That's a great thing to leave behind.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it was like used or in bad condition or.
We don't
It
know
doesn't.
that.
You buy it and leave it in the bed. It doesn't matter. That's just a hilarious thing to leave behind in your ex-girlfriend's house.
Yeah, but it's something that that's not.
He probably forgot about it.
I would almost say okay to like a fleshlight, but
like the
something that's
pee
not
in the mattress.
stereotypically used for a straight male. I mean, not stereotypically. You use it, fine, so be it. That's your own little thing, but that doesn't seem, that would be more embarrassing that I think would be to leave something like that than something else like a collection of pornos or something.
I think if I wanted to make somebody uncomfortable, that makes me maniacally laugh inside to think that someone's going to pull the sheet back and there's going to be a butt plug in their guest room bed.
There was that time
all right.
that
She thought
Trey,
it was a wine bottle closer.
Yeah, she didn't know what it was to begin with. It was
That's
hilarious.
amazing.
there was that time that Trey left little 3-inch blue dildos at 9 people's houses in random locations. He left one in my pantry. I opened up my pantry and there is this little tiny clear blue dick just sitting on top
Oh,
of my
I
mini
thought
wheels.
that was
That is
for
awesome.
your guests to use. Oops.
Yeah, he also hid one in Margaret's pillowcase. Extra bonus points because I found it. And whatever, I found it.
Oh,
I
how
grabbed
was
it-
that conversation?
It's funny though. This does end in a funny way. So whatever, I grab her pillow and I roll over, just like whatever, and I put my face down on something solid, and it was on my pillow, whatever. So I reach inside and I pull it out, and it was just confusion, really. Like, why do you have this? And I didn't know about it. It's the I didn't know about it part. So I walked out and I was like, so why do you have this?
And it was a little one. It was like,
It was
yeah,
tiny.
little tiny thing. It was just total confusion.
so she wanted something bigger than the real thing? Is that?
Yeah, she was
Come on,
just
too
trying
easy.
to upgrade.
Dan sent me a picture at work, and he with question marks, and I was like, I have no fucking idea.
What did she say?
And it was standing
She
on
must
end.
have been so confused.
That's
She
hilarious.
was also just as confused. She's just like, why do you have that? It's like, no, I found it in your pillowcase. She's like, it's not mine.
So the two of you were playing a game of who's fucking with the other one?
Right. So we're just like, what is happening? And then we sent it. The first thing we were like, okay, it wasn't you and it wasn't me. Let's go to group chat. Who the fuck did this? And then they owned up to it. Trey and Keita.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, we did get a little bit off topic there. So, what do you guys think? Is digging through trash and hunting for treasures, is that
That's
is that pretty
Flood Bell
typical?
worthy.
I got
Ding.
There you go.
I got some good shit on this one. I grew up in a community where they had garbage week.
Like Shark Week?
Kind of. It was a spring cleaning thing. At the end of the school year, beginning of the summer, everyone in the community would, well, not everyone, but a large number of people, they would do all their spring cleaning and leave all of their garbage, their just shit that they don't need, that they've been hoarding, that came out of the attic or the shed or whatever, in piles on the side of the street. And they would send out extra garbage trucks throughout the next 2 weeks to pick all of it up. But in the meantime, it was a
Fair game.
smorgasbord. There were people, it was like garage sale week in a gated community. People were just wandering up and down the street, digging through piles of trash, pulling out treasures. And as kids, it was great. I got a new bike. I got there was all kinds of cool shit. Baseball bat, kids love to hit shit. It just,
Man, that's like the Taco Tuesday of being a trash guy. Like, they can't take that day off. They're going to be busy all fucking day.
My mom had a friend who was a garbage man. He used to get all kinds of sweet scores. Just random shit. He got a whole stereo system that worked.
I guess a garbage guy would have a pretty good.
He would be the perfect guy to do exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would also.
You have a whole house furnished.
Where would you
Where'd you get
all
all that? I love your collection. What brand is this? This is the trash from the hills over in Titusville.
Yeah,
Nothing
That's a
wrong with
Titusville
that.
piece over there.
Yeah.
And that's a cocoa piece over there. That's a really nice one.
That's very
Over there, that's
eclectic.
Melbourne.
I
Yeah,
got
this
a
is
really
this
sweet-
is Washburn's trash from last week.
I got a really sweet dresser off the side of the road once. Super sweet.
I've put several dressers on the side of the road myself. I don't know. I guess I'm the anti of this. Maybe I was like 13 or 14. We were living in an apartment complex down in West Melbourne, and my mother made me go dumpster diving for her because she saw something in the dumpster that she really wanted.
Oh,
Well, it was a table. It was for her and my dad to have on the back porch in our little apartment. They wanted a little patio table. And this one, my parents aren't like dirt poor, but it was just something that was really nice. They liked it. And I went dumpster diving. Ever since then, I've had a bad taste about getting trash out of garbage. Why are you raising your hand?
You're so hyped.
She raised her hand. Uh-oh.
Because what do you have in your office right now? A huge.
Did I leave porn up on? Did I leave porn up on the screen again?
Longboard.
Oh yeah,
paddleboard.
the paddleboard.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, trash on the side of the road.
There you
What,
go.
that was like
Somebody
straight
was
up dump
literally
trash?
throwing it. It was out by the road for the garbage man to pick up. My son and my dad saw it, took a picture of it, and said, is this any good? Why is it out by the road? I looked at it, and yeah, there was a fin broken on it, but it's easy to fix. But yeah, 100% trash. We got that completely for free. It's a $2,200 paddleboard.
So you're
we got
for
for free.
it too.
I
Join the club.
You know what you should do?
It's just the digging part.
yeah, when you got to dig,
We need to
That's-
dig for goods, but like Margaret grabs stuff off the side of the road all the time.
That's what
It's
I'm
like,
saying.
yeah.
It's
I mean-
different. You go drive by, you
fucking-
see it.
We bleach everything that can take bleach.
Nope.
That's it. It just like
I once spent
kid
45
shit's
minutes
expensive.
in an apartment
Mhm.
complex dumpster looking for a bag of imported spices that I accidentally threw away.
He did.
It was very,
It's funny.
very.
Well, you had to make
Great spices.
You had to make your spaghetti that night. You wanted your special recipe.
I did. I also didn't have a job or any money to buy more.
Oh yeah, that's important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. We have a device upstairs that sounds like that.
What, the dishwasher?
Yes.
It really does, though.
It does, yeah.
Did
We-
go
we-
well. You are sitting right below the plumbing.
So we are right below it.
Oh,
I mean-
Oliver is all cuddling up on Josh in the
Man.
studio.
This is,
On
like in
on
my
the-
personal space.
On the
Making
original
Andrea
question,
jealous.
I'm all for like free shit scores.
All right. I guess I was trying to play the advocate here, or the opposite, the counter, but I guess
You
I
just
have too
can't.
much shit in my house to be able to play that side of this argument, huh?
You basically found me on the side of the road.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Your work is like
It's
Right-
right,
right off
there
the
off
side of the
US
road.
one.
She was living in a trailer that had a tree in it at the time when I met her.
The
it's
tree
like a
was
treehouse.
taken out. It was just a hole.
So, have you guys heard the news lately?
You're pregnant again for a third time?
A third time.
The bird's the word.
Yay.
time travel.
No, what?
What's happening?
Oh, you're waiting for the intro.
Yeah, play the music.
Hey, look, we got to work on our internal communication of queuing here. I did.
We'll figure
Like,
it out.
it's
We'll
new,
figure it
yeah.
out. It's fine.
Finger guns.
It's all
Do
look,
it.
it's all good.
ASL.
Oh yeah. Does Dan know that story?
Now it's time for the news flash with Mr. Wilson.
I feel like I'm about to get on a ride at Disney World.
All right.
Did you hear the Morse code in there, Dan? That's actually legitimately a real word.
I don't speak beep.
Well, if you did speak beep, if you send us the answer to what it is, we'll send you a sticker. So,
I have Morse code on my arm. For
Do you really?
so
Oh, that's cool.
the news flash. So I'm gonna bring some news from around the world. That's both interesting because I'm nerdy and I like it, or some weird shit that's going on in the world. Whatever, just some cool news that's out there right now. So every year there's a festival or a parade in Paris. It's called Bastille Day, and they do a big military parade. They bring out whatever, put all their nice dress uniforms, a big performance, a whole big to do. They brought out something very new this year. Did you guys see it?
No,
No.
I don't even know what Bastille Day really is. I've never
It's-
seen that before.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it's all about either. I didn't. But so they brought out something new. They brought out a guy on a hoverboard with a rifle. The French military. Yeah.
Are we talking like a hoverboard, like Back to the Future, or are we talking a hoverboard like has a wheel on it, like the wheels on the
He
side?
was like 30, 40 feet up, but it's a hoverboard.
Oh.
It's like a deck that he was standing on that has like a big fan, a big jet
Oh, it's
system.
a legit
Yeah.
hoverboard
Green
then.
Goblin?
Green Goblin.
Yeah, straight up Green Goblin hoverboard.
Sweet.
And
Okay.
he was flying around with a rifle at the parade. But he was like part of the military. It was part of the show, not
Oh,
like
okay,
not like
okay.
just
Okay.
a
That's
dude
good.
with a rifle.
Fucking kill him! Kill
Very
the guy!
different story. No, so he they kind of unveiled it. That was their big unveiling of it. But the inventor talked about how he's going to fly across the English Channel. He was going to take it. And he's going to fly across, and that had some.
With his rifle?
He didn't bring his rifle on that. This was like showing off what his new technology could really do.
Man, it's got to be efficient for the batteries or whatever fuel it uses.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. So that was the first thing that came up. So the battery capacity could not make the flight time. So there were going to be times where he was going to have to refuel. So they had basically they just brought a small barge ship out there with all of his stuff, and they just met him out in the water so he could refuel. But it failed.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, did he go down the drink?
So, yeah. He was able to make his launch successfully. He gets out of the water. He leaves from sight. Whole big spectacle. Everyone's super excited.
You can see his testicles?
Yeah. They're so big that when he's 30 feet in the air, you can still see them.
Did you say this was a French dude?
Yeah, it's a French inventor.
Just checking.
Who? So he, it's really, really unfortunate because as awesome as all of this was, he's completely he was funded by the French military, which is really cool because they're bringing hoverboard soldiers into the military apparently. So we live in the future, which is cool. This thing's powered by 5 jet engines. So whatever. But he, so unfortunately, he gets to the first. No, back up. So it can fly about 10 minutes, and that was not enough time for him to cross the channel. Yeah, it's still really good for what it is. Something real quick, I guess. One direction at least, one way to at least get into a place quickly. But so he flies out, and part of this was having refueling ships along the way. It runs on kerosene, and the first ship that he went to land on, he just got knocked by it and ended up getting knocked straight off the ship and jets himself into the water.
Sacre bleu! I went into the water!
Is that your Australian accent?
G'day, mate!
So he's not dissuaded though.
That hurt.
So he's not dissuaded though. He's gonna try again, but it's really kind of interesting that we live in a time where the French military is gonna have hoverboard soldiers.
I thought you were gonna say this is how we got Aquaman.
I mean, Yves Rossi made a functioning jetpack 15 years ago.
It's true.
That guy was...
Yeah, but you rip your damn arms out of socket. So if you're using just arm jets, I read an article about that. The one that's almost like, are you talking the full backpack
this is
one?
The full backpack Buzz Lightyear wing.
Oh, I'm thinking about the Iron Man suit.
He can't take off from the ground though. He has to jump out of a plane, but he can fly jet rocket man fucking fly.
That's cool.
For 10 or 15 minutes, and then he has to parachute to land.
There was an inventor that invented the the comparative Iron Man suit, and legitimately with foot jets and hand jets, and then also one on his back. And he said the foot jets and the back jet were fine, but as soon as the hand jets would fire, you would have to have basically enough upper body strength to hold your whole body weight because of how thrustful those jets were. He said you rip your damn arms out of socket every time you use them. You have no control because those would be your rudders, I guess.
Your main steering thrusters.
Yeah, exactly. He said you break your arms just by using the outfit itself.
That's where the suit kicks in.
Yeah, unless you got a super badass muscle exosuit.
He didn't have Jarvis, so Jarvis
true.
makes up for a lot.
Imagine the turbulence.
Is it weird that every time I picture the future, it's Back to the Future Part 2?
No.
Yes.
It's just the 50s with hoverboards.
Every time in my head when I think of the future and everything, that's exactly what I picture. The cars flew too.
That's way more optimistic than
I picture
mine.
the Time-mobile flying in, so the cars are hovering too.
Back to the Future in the future is in the past. Think about that for a minute.
And the shoes that and the pizza, the mini pizza you put in the microwave.
The food.
I'm gonna call dibs and bring it back to the newsflash.
All right, yeah, good call. You want me to do your intro again? No, I'm
No,
just
it's
kidding.
fine. That's fine.
I have the ability to do intros now live on the air, Josh.
Do it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. Don't do it.
It's already. Now I got to cancel it. Okay, no, we're good.
So, our next story comes from Spain.
Sacre bleu.
So this is just filed under stupid fucking criminal, but
There's a
Alright.
file
but
there?
also very creative criminal. So a man was arrested going through the Madrid airport. He flew in from Colombia. He's a Colombian man. Flew in and he was acting, I guess, nervous. And security at the airport in Madrid noticed that he had a disproportionately large toupee. So they stopped the man and they searched him and went through the whole process. They were, they were onto him. But it turns out something happened during his check and his inspection, and his hairpiece fell off. And he was carrying a bag with $34,000 worth of cocaine.
Oh.
How big of a bag would that? I don't know
Wow.
cocaine bag sizes.
I think the article has an amount.
Is that like a Ziploc sandwich baggy size bag of cocaine? Or are we talking like...
He had an afro.
Quart size?
yeah, full afro.
Oh, there's a picture.
Is there a gallon?
Look how big that is. I'm
Where
sorry,
is
this doesn't
it?
help anybody listening.
I'm not
It's
seeing
real
it, though.
big.
It's on his head.
It's on his head, really?
Yeah. It covers, it's a lot. It's a lot of cocaine. That's a lot of drugs that this dude was carrying under a toupee. So he traveled internationally, he made it out of Colombia, made it into Spain. Stupid fucking criminal, but that's really creative.
Yeah, you see, the thing making it out of Colombia with cocaine isn't usually the problem. They usually don't care about it going out. They have a lot less checks going out.
That's
going
true.
in, yeah, or
It's
coming into the
competition.
country. Yeah, exactly.
So this was I thought this was wildly impressive. So when the World Cup was in Colombia, a few years ago, people were making trophies out of cocaine. They were pressing it and forming it, and they mixed it with something, and then they coated it in like a gold edible thing to make it look like trophies. And they were sending crates of these World Cup trophies out. And then when they were getting to the other end, they were able to break them down and somehow pull out whatever was binding them together.
That's
Drug
pretty
people
smart.
are always so creative.
Right?
Have you ever watched Narcos on Netflix?
No.
Holy shit. Speaking of that, the next Grand Theft Auto is going to be themed and based around the Narcos storyline. So kind of
That's
cool to tie in there. But yeah, that's about Pablo Escobar and the entire 1980s Colombian drug mules and running and the whole nine. Oh, it's good. They do something similar to that. They make these full-size statues, like plaster-style statues. But it's not plaster. It's the whole statue is cocaine.
Triple Frontier's pretty good on Netflix too. That does Colombian drug lords.
Nice.
We segued out of your
We
news
did.
flash
No,
again.
it's fine. No,
Get
it
it
was,
back.
it
Bring
was
it
a
back
good one.
in.
I'm going to bring it back, but I'm going to stick with stupid criminals.
All right.
So, a man in Missouri was recently found after an extensive multi-day manhunt. They're trying to find this guy. They didn't actually say what his initial crime was, but how they found him was quite interesting. So, he was spotted, I guess, hiding behind something. They said a small wall, whatever. He was hiding behind something. He was seen and he ran. But they couldn't find him. They lost him. However, just in case, they brought their tracking dogs, and apparently the dude had ripped ass where he was at, hiding behind the wall, and the dog was able to pick it up and follow him.
I got that sound
Nice.
effect ready.
So the dogs were able to pick up on it and track him down using the smell of his own fart.
That's amazing.
Wait, what if this guy, though, was like a nervous farter? What if that's like,
Shouldn't commit
some people
crimes.
could stutter when you get nervous. Some people could have body odor or sweat a lot. His nervous habit or his nervous uncontrollable is flatulence.
You can hold that shit in if you're trying to get laid. If your life in prison is on the line, I'm sure you could do the same.
Yeah, I would imagine. But maybe he had a medical
You
condition.
can't do it when you're doing a Halloween episode, though.
Then
Do you guys remember that?
shouldn't have ran from the police.
That was featured on our 100th episode, too. We talked about that
We
episode.
did. All right, so now I'm going to bring something a little bit more upbeat and just the dichotomy of this story is just wonderful. So I'm just going to read the first article or the first paragraph of the article. It's a Huffington Post article, but the story comes from Finland.
Good eye, mate.
Armed with needles and a yarn of wool, teams of avid knitters danced Thursday to the deafening sounds of drums beating and guitars slashing at the first ever heavy metal knitting world championship.
I saw this.
I heard about that. It's amazing.
It is incredible.
And
I
just
saw a picture.
it's
I am still clueless.
so okay. It is a knitting, like crochet
No,
knitting.
I get that. Yeah, I understand.
It is an entire competition to make things, but all of it is backed by heavy metal bands playing the entire time. It's a metal festival with a knitting competition.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the contestants are on stage, like headbanging and thrash dancing.
Oh,
While
really?
knitting.
Oh, that adds a
And
level
they're all
of.
like made up. And
I was
like,
gonna tag tack in that.
There were 50 bands present, and over 100,000 people were talking about it.
That's insane.
Yeah, it blew up. So let's see.
This is a weird combination. You're a marketing guru in charge of like the regional knitting association, and your boss comes to you. Hey, Albert, you need to come up with something to really get our name out there. We want the world to know who we are. What's your idea? I don't know. Hire 50 of the best rock bands in the world and have everybody knit to their music. I love it. Let's do it. What the fuck?
I mean, it worked.
Obviously, we're talking about it here. So yeah, obviously something.
They were hitting the dishwasher.
they were all up in that Toupee cocaine.
I don't get. They're all up in the dishwasher.
Because it
Because it
sounded
sounds
like
like-
a bong.
It sounded like a water pipe,
Oh, got it.
a tobacco pipe.
Millennials.
Oh man.
But organizers and sponsors all confirmed that it is going to come back next year. It is now an annual tradition in Eastern Finland.
We don't get cool things like that.
Not like that. Is that
Right.
cool though? Hang on a minute. I don't
I mean,
know.
I crochet, so yes.
Do you? Would you crochet headbanging at the same time?
I mean, I would probably poke my eye out.
Right.
You
There's
get a
some extra
headache,
hazards from
right?
that.
That's dangerous. And knitting needles are sharp.
I got to take your word for that one. I can't say I know what
I mean,
that's
they're
all about.
stabby.
Okay. So I have one more story for you guys, and this is just too much. And it makes perfect sense. So a new museum has opened up in Japan. It's an interactive museum, and it's completely dedicated to poop.
That doesn't surprise me. This is a second week in a row with a Japan story.
Yeah, and so the thing is it's not like real poop. They're not like celebrating real poop. It's all like the emoji poop icons, and they're all brightly colored and glittery, and it's absolutely absurd. But there's one thing that really, they had games, they had fake toilets around a seating, they had a little, yeah, I'm just gonna read it. Music plays as a user pretends to poop. Then a brightly colored souvenir poop can be collected from inside the toilet bowl to be taken home after the tour.
How much fun is that?
Just
Don't forget your poopery.
How long do you think it'll be before someone actually shits in that toilet and someone tries to get their souvenir poop?
I don't know who it was that told me this. Maybe you, Josh. The original poop emoji on your phones, like that,
Ice.
obviously looks like is ice cream. Yeah, it's not actually poop. It's chocolate ice cream.
Everybody knows.
It was
that.
originally chocolate ice cream.
They got that.
Now it's obviously known as poop.
They got it wrong. Did you see the Emoji Movie?
Yes, the Emoji Movie had it as poop too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because it's poop.
I would still to this day want to go back and watch Sausage Party again. That was such a good movie.
We've seen it like 4 times.
Oh, it's still such a good movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh.
You guys have never seen Sausage
He
Party?
saw it. I went to sleep.
Steph went to sleep. I watched that movie.
The last scene, Stephanie. You can't unsee that.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I was in a special state of mind when I saw that movie.
I think you have to be.
He was
I think that's a
probably washing
requirement.
dishes.
No, I was way beyond washing dishes, and it was an incredible experience. It was life changing.
Yeah, it was an amazing movie. Stephanie, do yourself a favor. Give yourself like 2 hours where the world doesn't even need to exist and put yourself in a state of mind and watch that movie. It is so worth it. Seth Rogen? Is that who? That's whose movie
yeah,
that
it's
is.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen and all
You're
his
also
buddies.
Female, so you don't have to.
The standout performance of
It's
that
a
movie
guy
though
movie.
was Nick Kroll as the douche.
The douche.
It's the
Yeah.
douche.
Oh, it's worth it. It's worth a watch.
Such a guy movie.
I have time now, so maybe.
So, yeah, it's that's the news flash. Yeah,
That's your best news flash ever.
That's a good one. No
We
Florida
had
man.
stories from all over the world.
We did. Do you have a Florida man ready?
No.
I know I didn't ask you to.
This could have been our live field
Does Tack?
field flash update. No, Tack. Nothing.
I haven't heard from Tack all day.
Nothing from Tack.
No.
He's doing that Virginia lifestyle
I was
thing right
wondering
now.
about the Virginia
Whoa.
man.
I'll ask him. Let's see.
No, it's too late. He should have already done it.
I'll go attack.
Virginia man
Hey,
continues
buddy,
to sell
Do you have
moonshine
anything from Virginia you want to add in on the show?
without
All right, we'll see if he comes back.
capture.
He was probably knitting.
Tack.
Heavy metal.
I did
While
get an
watching
update from him.
Hummingbird.
His little salon. I say little. The salon he's going to be opening up there is probably September.
Oh, I
Time
remember it. Haircut sharks do 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 do. Haircut sharks do do
What
do
it-
do do. Haircut sharks do do.
So what is he gonna do until September?
I don't know. There's a lot of preliminary stuff they have to work on, like
Oh, definitely.
you know,
yeah.
picking the location and coordinating all the city codes and, you know, getting inspections done and the whole 9 yards. So there's a lot of preliminary work that has to and hiring a staff. So there is a lot of work that has to go into it.
And finding a place
But-
to have it.
Yeah, that
So
was
you-
part of that.
That's
Yeah.
first.
Opening like a barbershop?
It's opening up a haircut place, a salon place for kids called Sharky's Cuts for Kids. And it's
Hence the song.
his sister bought the franchise rights to that place. His sister's like an attorney or something like that up in Virginia,
But
and she bought the rights.
it's awesome. So we looked it up naturally, and it's like when you buy the franchise, a whole part of it is having like consoles in front of kids during haircuts, and it's like very much what current kids want to do. There's like video games in the waiting area, and all of the seats have games for kids to play, and there's just shit to do. So it probably makes getting a kid's haircut awesome,
fun.
super easy.
That's
Like Snippets.
Like snippets, yeah.
That's where Alyssa got all of her first haircuts at Snippets and had a party.
I mean, that's awesome. I would have loved that when I was a kid. Although as an adult, I just think it'd be really cool to open a barbershop that also has a bar with beer on tap. We call it the barber shop.
I see what you did there.
I like it.
I wonder if Tack's dating up there. What do you think? You think he's trying?
Dude, new Tinder game. He can do the Bumble Stumble. Or the Tinder Bender.
I think dudes in West Virginia are worse than dudes in Florida.
He's in regular.
He's in regular. He's in
Virginia.
like high class, highfalutin, very expensive. Like every home is $500K and up. type of
Oh,
place.
he's got a bunch of sailors to choose from.
He's Speaking of Tinder, I pulled this article because the details in the article did not like make me think, oh, this is an interesting article to talk about. It's really because Tinder's doing something that I didn't even know they did. So obviously I don't need Tinder anymore. Thank you, Andrea Joy. However,
that was a really good segue.
built into that one.
That was awesome. Sorry.
I tried on
Sorry,
that one.
I had
it's
to
all good.
compliment you on that one.
Well, thank you. So Tinder is exploring a different approach to fighting app store fees. So Tinder, basically, to make a long story short, they're allowing people who want to use their service and pay a different approach as opposed to using like Google Pay or Apple Pay or one of those other pay type of methods. And I know it's been a while since I've been in the dating game, but what the fuck do you pay for on Tinder?
Swipes.
But I was a Tinder person. I used Tinder and I swiped a ton. I never had to pay
That was
anything.
back in the old days.
Yeah,
That was only like 4 years
There
ago.
was no competition for Tinder then. Now, like I said, they got the Bumble Stumble, the Grinder Binder. Like,
Yeah, but those are competition. That should drive your prices even lower, not the other way around. What? So I'm only like allowed a certain number of swipes. Is that what you're saying?
I've never used Tinder. I've been with Dan for almost
I
10
guess
years.
that's a good point.
Yeah, we both got together, just skirted under the whole like the demise of dating in general.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
heard
it
it
is a
was
fucking
just a hookup
cesspool now.
site, so
That's
I
what-
didn't
It
even
is.
do it.
That's-
Tinder's for fucking, and anybody who uses it for something other than fucking
And-
is kidding themselves.
And that was never me, so
So I used Tinder for I legitimately ended up with a couple of dates. Some of them were only interested in sex, be that as it may.
Oh no, boo.
But yeah, well, look, so be it. But Tinder is used for two things I want to point out to you. Fucking, yes, 100%, and catfishing.
Yes,
Catfishing a motherfucker on
Oh.
Tinder is horrible.
did that happen? to
but
you?
you're only
More than one
catfishing
time.
Someone who wants the
I
fucking.
didn't know that.
I didn't know
why
that
are you
either.
catfishing
I've told this story.
people?
Not me. I didn't catfish somebody.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
like use a
good.
picture. I got catfished.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Because you were trying to do the fucking.
I legitimately wasn't trying to fuck.
You sent your dick pic.
I was trying to make no, not on there. No, absolutely not.
I'm gonna get a piece
I mean,
of that.
I have sent my
You
dick
did it
pic,
wrong. That's
but-
why you got catfished.
Yeah, I guess so. But no, it happened more than one time, and I took one girl out down in Melbourne, and I went to pick her up. This is when I had my little convertible little two-seater. So I went to get this girl, and her profile picture on Tinder she was a beautiful girl. She was my age, so it was, everything was appropriate age-wise. It wasn't like a 18, 19, 20-year-old girl. It was a normal, woman. I went to pick her up from her little apartment. And
They're not normal women.
What, 18? No, when you date somebody who's that young, when you're an older person like I was at the time, like 34, I guess at the time, 35 at the time, you have nothing to fucking talk to with an 18-year-old.
no.
I had no ability to converse with a less than 21-year-old girl. I couldn't talk to him.
No,
There's nothing you can talk to him about.
Living podcast.
And I felt horrible.
Sex, drugs, and walkers.
Well, yeah, so I picked the girl up, and I went to her house, her little apartment, knocked on her door, and a person answered the door. Like, hi, I'm here to get so-and-so. That's me. No, you're fucking kidding. Was she standing behind one of your rolls? What's going on? It wasn't just that. It wasn't. If it was just a little overweight, that's one thing. No, this girl barely fit through her door, and was like at least 15 years older than the profile picture that she used. At least 15 years older.
I've never heard that. Is that why you always say you'll break up with me if I weigh 351?
Whoa!
He signed the paperwork now. It's done, deal.
Oh, we put it into the paperwork though.
No, that only had to do with glitter.
Oh, okay.
There was nothing else.
She did literally have glitter in our vows.
I didn't have it.
Well, Jason Crace put glitter in our vows, but it was still there.
It's there.
Like glitter on the paper.
I don't want to sound as shallow as that did come off. I wasn't saying I was upset. She didn't catfish me because she was larger than her profile picture. It was basically a completely different person. 15 years of a different age and how she looked. It's just completely different.
Have you
seen?
But
Did you go?
The picture I took her on a date, but that was it. But I'm not a horrible person.
Where'd you go?
Like Chili's or something. I don't remember where. It was one of the
What did you
restaurants
do
on over.
after?
Took her right back home.
Really? Nothing else?
Dropped
Nothing
it
else,
the
not
fuck off and
anything
got
else.
out of there.
you
How
didn't.
long were
You
you
didn't
at
give a
Chili's?
dog a bone.
No, absolutely not.
Did
That
you have
man went
cocktails
rolling
at
home.
dinner?
Yeah, we bought some drinks.
Both of you? And y'all were
Yeah.
talking and chit-chatting?
Did you ever?
He married you. You're good.
Did you ever breach the subject of like?
I'm
Why are you
feeling for the
catfishing people?
woman. Like, how
If
does
you were
she
having
feel?
casual drinks?
No, not really. So I did.
was with
When at the end of the date, she was asking if we could have another date. And I told her, I said, look, you portrayed yourself to me differently than how you are. And I don't appreciate that. I said, I had a great time with you. This was a good date. And I was chivalrous. I held the doors. I paid for dinner. I did the things that I feel is appropriate to do.
Mhm.
But I was honest with her too. And I said, good luck. I wish you the best, but this will be the last time that we're going to see each other. So I was very honest with her.
You can't start off a relationship on a lie.
No, not that hard of a lie. Little white lies, sure, okay. But
It's just showing
Did
you
you
an
ever
old
see I
picture.
Love You Man with Paul Rudd? He has to go on blind dates to find friends.
Really?
Yeah, and he gets catfished by a guy who looks young, but he's actually 90.
Jesus Christ.
As long as he's
I was thinking
rich.
of it's definitely a chick flick from the 90s, but it's the guy, he's like super duper shallow and he gets cursed to
Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal.
There we go, yeah.
Mm.
That movie, that's what came to mind.
So back to paid Tinder and Tinder's for fucking. She was catfishing you,
Yeah, well,
but for
I
the
say-
purpose of fucking you.
I mean, maybe fucking, I don't know. It never got to the point of where we were going to even potentially hook up.
Right.
I never let it even get close to that.
I believe you. I mean, it could be worse though.
I think she wanted more than fucking, though. I legitimately think she wanted more than fucking. I think she wanted a relationship. And the way she was going to get the relationship was not starting off with somebody that doesn't even look like the profile picture. That ain't going to happen.
Damn.
Or multiple profile, because you have multiple pictures on your profile on Tinder and some of those apps.
Damn.
But the point of the story is, who the fuck knew Tinder charges you for shit? I certainly
did. I've never even used it, and I knew that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. All right, so we're going to be checking out a little bit more True Phonic. This is Lately by True Phonic. We're going to take a break here in studio. Enjoy it. We're going to come back with the Guyry.
Yeah, it's the Guyry.
Yeah, the Guyry. You got some good questions tonight?
Yes.
My
I have
body is
lots of
ready.
good
Wait to
questions.
be ready for that one. All right, guys.
Gotta split quick somehow. Because she got me in deep, too deep right now. Soon I'm feeling restless. When most of our time is spent around my mattress. 'cause I just can't give you everything. Now I bet you wonder why I'd ever be hesitant, but I spent my whole life looking for a quick fix. Hey, no, I can hear a mess. It's like I'm going deaf, and you can hear me singing if my thoughts all strapped. Baby, tell me what's left. And now I can't believe this how it's gotta be. Oh, you make me feel away, but I still gotta leave. I gotta be free. Yeah. You've been selling me all your essence, baby. Lately, well, I'm crazy, 'cause I just can't give you everything. Maybe I'm going deaf, so you can hear me singing if my thoughts all strapped. Baby, tell me what's left. Lady, oh, you've been selling me all your essence, baby. Lately, well, I'm crazy, 'cause I just can't give you everything. Lady, oh, you've been selling me all your essence, baby. Lady, well, I'm crazy, 'cause I just can't give you everything.
Peering into the inner thoughts and expressions of men. Women submit questions to get brutal, honest admissions. We call this the Guyry. Guyry? Really?
Hey, Tack, is that the best name we could come up with?
Yeah, just go with it.
Aw, I think it's adorable.
Can we man up the music a little bit or something?
I got you, buddy.
And since Tack is gone, that is now his only part on the show. It's the Guyry intro.
That's sad.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Welcome back, and fuck you.
So our questions will begin now. Are we ready?
Sure.
The first one is from Shannon in Florida. My fiance has My fiance has a Dropbox folder of nudes and sexually explicit. I can't even talk. Of nudes and sexually explicit acts from all his past exes and hookups. I've always respected his privacy, but it bothers me. What is your advice on this situation? We have been together for 5 years.
Torch his car. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird one because that's his past. So that's tantamount to telling him to forget those things that he's been through.
But is she really asking him to forget those things?
I don't really know.
So guys would usually
I got married, deleted that shit. That's what I did.
Guys would usually use something like that as masturbatory material, right? I mean, that's why you keep, or that's why you go to porn or you look at porn or whatever. That's usually what that is. And no guy that I know of is really looking at porn or looking at, sorry, it was a beer. That's allowed.
Oh.
No guy is looking at that stuff thinking about the cinematography or about, the nostalgia of past rompuses. Is that
You don't go
is
to
that
porn
right?
to reminisce about the time you fucked that porn star. Unless you fucked a porn star, which applause.
Hey, good on you. Yeah, for that. However, I also see the side of it as being, it's his history. It's some of the stuff that he's kept. So I don't know.
Those are trophies.
All right, as long as the
High
files,
school.
as long as the files don't keep getting new entries from different girls, then
So what should she do about it? She's asking.
well, it's
for
obviously
advice.
bothering her, huh?
Oh, well,
That's-
there's always the first one that we seem to fall to this every time. Talk to him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a thing that you should just sit him down and say, hey,
Erase all of your old sex with your exes.
delete it. I mean, if it bothers her, then just be like, hey, I want you to delete it. That bothers me. And if he doesn't, it's another Ray Burrito plug.
He's probably fucking somebody else. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I wouldn't go to that extreme.
I wouldn't go to that extreme either, but it's just.
I
it's
would
too
find
fitting.
a bunch of fake photos and Photoshop my face on them and then be like, oh shit, how do you feel? No, I got one too.
That's funny. Or get all of his files and put your face on. Is that what you're saying? Put your face on
No,
his
no,
picture.
like-
Put your face on the girls that he was fucking in the other pictures.
No, like just find random pictures on the interwebs of people having sex and put your face on them, and then her be like, I've got a whole folder of me fucking
But
other
he
dudes.
probably, I mean, he may be in the mindset where that he would like that.
Maybe. That's weird.
Like, oh, that's kind of cool.
That'd be a really expensive endeavor. You'd have to find a porn girl who looks
Close,
just
yeah.
like you physically, and then if you have tattoos, you got to have those superimposed on. You would need a really, really good photo.
I like the idea of you putting your
Maybe
face
she is.
on all of her photos.
I would take it and put his mother's face on all of those photos.
Oh,
And save them all.
too
Look at
far.
him, bitch. Look at him.
Too
I
far.
mean, if she's got Photoshop skills, she could hack it and put her face on all of them.
But his mother would be better. He would never look at him again.
That'd be weird. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's her face, then he's just beating off to her face. So
With his ex's body, no. His mother.
I
Will
say,
never look again.
what would you have him do?
What would I have him do?
Yeah, like what would you have this guy do?
I don't think he needs those. I mean, there's different things you need, but you don't need sex videos of your exes and hookups.
I think after 5 years, it's worthy of being deleted.
If you're serious.
After 5 years,
Yeah.
so 4 years, 6 months, we're good.
I mean, there's
5 years
like,
to cut off.
If you're like living together and stuff, I would not want Dan to have. I'd be like, the fuck.
You don't
you,
need
you
that.
get rid of that. Porn is free. Go find that.
You don't need your ex.
I'm all about just going to the internet for its intended purpose, which is porn.
I thought it was Amazon.
No.
No.
That's not what the
Dan
internet
is
Amazon
for
is
porn.
just a product
Well,
of porn.
Amazonian is a category.
The
of
internet
porn.
is for shopping.
No, they made a
For
whole
porn.
musical about it.
Yeah, they
the
did.
internet is for porn.
Yeah, it's
And
Avenue
shopping.
Q.
Yeah. There's more porn on the internet than anything else.
And shopping.
But there's more porn than shopping. But I mean,
I bet there's
don't
a
know.
site where you could shop, and all the models are like naked people.
Where
So
you're
it's
shopping
porn
for porn?
and shopping.
Wish app.
you know,
Wish
I'll bet there's even more porn where people are fucking in a grocery store.
When you're looking at it, would you say you're shopping for porn?
Yeah,
I guess
I would
really-
say
Shopping wins.
I'm a little bit selective about my porn, but it's all free, so
Still shopping.
You just got to be faster than those pop-ups. That's all.
Okay. All right. Number 2 comes from Jennifer in Oklahoma. A friend of mine told me she wasn't texting a guy back because she wanted him to try harder. I've heard this a few times from women, and it always baffled me because I don't know how he's supposed to know that's the reason you're not responding to him. We are having a debate about it right now because I'm trying to understand this. What are your thoughts?
that was a loaded question.
Um,
Is there a summary?
girls that don't? Yeah. When what's the appropriate time to text a guy back to let him know you're interested? Like, right. That's really the summary. Like, she's not texting him back, but she wants because she thinks that's going to keep him interested.
She wants him to
Here's
try
a tip for
harder.
girls. The majority of guys that I know, if you don't text him, there is no game there. There is no theory. If you don't text him, we think you're not interested. Bottom line. That's it. If I text
or-
you and show you interest and you pay me no return texts, okay, moving on. Going out to, find somebody else.
Yeah.
But we're married.
Smart ass.
I mean, I guess, and if it's about waiting to respond, I don't know if I speak for most guys or not, but if I text you and then it's like 12 hours later and I get a response back, just be like, She was busy. That's it. That's the end of the amount of thought. If it gets back to me the next, like, oh, she sucks at texting. All right, not a big deal.
Yeah, the days of absence makes the heart grow fonder. Only existed because the courting mechanisms of years gone by have changed, because we have immediate connections to people because of our phones, because of the internet, because of
Tinder.
Everything.
So
Yeah, Tinder.
Yeah, so
you have that.
I'm sorry. I just realized, like, I just stop playing games. Just text him back.
Yeah, be an adult. Yeah.
If you don't like him, don't text him.
Yeah, if you're not into it, don't respond.
Or
I mean-
tell him like an adult.
I wouldn't say text him every 5 minutes. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? What are you doing now? Because that would end up being a little psycho. But yeah, to let him know. You got to communicate with the guy.
All right. Number 3 is from Lyra in Florida.
Lyra?
That's a
Lyra.
cool name. Lyra.
I'm stuck wondering if a new relationship would wake me up to actually feel passion again, or if working on our issues would be a more rewarding in the long run, and if things would eventually come together.
She misses the butterflies in the stomach, the shots of adrenaline she gets from those first kisses and those first hookups. That's what she's missing. She's become complacent in her relationship. Get a wig. Just trying to make
toupee?
Butt plugs.
a
Cocaine
toupee filled with cocaine. Yes, that's the title of the show: cocaine filled toupee.
That's actually, yeah, that sounds like great advice. Try something new. Role playing.
I thought you meant cocaine together.
I mean, if
That would probably help.
that's what it takes. I'd say if you want to go the narcotics route, start with weed, because it's not going to
Unless
kill
he's
you.
an asshole, then don't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, she never let into though.
if
She
the
never let
magic
into
is
He
gone,
her.
said
'cause he's a
fix their
dickhead.
problems.
It does kind of. All right, that's fair. Yeah,
Working
that is
on
fair.
our issues would be more rewarding.
She did start the question off. I almost whistled there. She started that question off by asking about the excitement of a new relationship. It
Right.
sounds to me like her mind may
She
already
needs-
be
She
made up.
backed
She
off
needs to flip a
into-
coin, and while it's in the air, she will know what she really wants.
New dick, old dick. New dick, old dick. New dick, old dick.
Right, and the moment she flips it, she'll be like, I know what this is, and I know what I want. And then just go with it.
Or a threesome?
Porque de los dos?
A threesome would.
A threesome is the best way to end a relationship.
Well, she's already there, so just
Right,
bring
exactly.
another
You
guy
go
in
out with a
and
bang.
go ahead and do it.
I'll bring another girl in.
No, another
no.
guy.
Listen,
She's trying to decide.
It's her
yeah.
decision.
she's already decided.
This is about her, and
So
she
you end it
identifies
the
as
right
female.
way. You get someone in there who knows how to handle a woman, and then he goes out and he doesn't feel bad about it at all.
There's a
It's
category for
win-win.
that too.
A porn category?
Cuckold. Yes, you bring in a
No.
guy to handle your wife because you aren't man enough to handle her, and then you have to sit there and watch the big dude with the big old dick
I'm
fuck
not
your
talking
wife and you
about a
cry in the
cuck.
corner. So,
I'm talking about you've heard the breakup sex. The best breakup sex you can have is to bring another female into it, because then you get someone in there who knows how to handle your business, the female, because she's a female, she knows how to handle a female, and then the man, he's not even mad about the breakup because he had a threesome. Like, nobody's sad, nobody's sore, everybody walks away happy.
hopefully, I have some people sore. I mean, if you're
Butt
doing
plugs.
it right, you're gonna be sore. Butt plugs,
I don't know
yes.
if I know how to handle a female, though.
No, you bring her in to handle you,
Oh.
and then he just gets to have the
So I
experience
just
of a
do
threesome.
nothing?
You just make that decision.
I'll bring the glitter.
Yeah. You bring in a really strong bi chick to handle you, and he's just there as support role.
So if I'm going to finally make out with a girl, it's going to be some butch chick? I want her to be like Disney
I didn't
princess
say
beautiful.
butch chick, I said strong bi, as in like strong
okay.
skilled, not like super strong.
Oh, okay.
But
She should could-
Not the MMA
that would
player.
be a good way to ease into your first girl experience, is a chick who's like,
So it's
you
the
know,
transgender who's doing the MMA, the weightlifting one?
Her, yes,
That one?
yeah. Bring her in.
Awesome.
She probably still has a dick though. That's the only problem with
but
that.
she got to choose how big it was.
Best of both worlds. Boobs and dick.
You know, I made a joke about this one time before. Guys watch straight porn, all right? A guy and a girl having sex. Guys also watch two girls having sex with each other. Guys, really straight, normal, heterosexual guys normally don't watch two dudes having sex. So the middle ground is a guy and a girl. What if it was a transsexual male having sex with a female?
I've watched that before.
That's like halfway between guy and girl and girl and girl. It's like halfway in the middle. You get a guy with boobs that's beautiful
Yeah.
having sex with a girl. So you're kind of halfway between the two other ends of that spectrum, I think.
Does he
My
still have
body
a
is
wiener?
confused.
Yeah. Wiener, but really beautiful and boobs.
A girl with
it's
a
straight
boob-
porn with an
a
extra
girl
set
with
of
a dick.
tits.
I would
Yeah,
just
basically,
look,
yes.
Just
I
bonus
would just
tits.
Be confused.
Bonus tits.
That sounds
Yes.
confusing to watch.
Sounds very.
What's
confused.
transsexual porn? You've never seen?
Pre-op trans female who still has a dick.
Yeah, I understand. I understand all of these terms.
Okay.
But having sex with a female. So
Right, yeah, I know.
wouldn't
It's
that
like-
just be like better than
like a
watching normal
centaur.
normal sex? Isn't that better because you have extra boobs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bonus tits.
I don't.
Bonus boobs, BBs.
It's not something I've ever watched. So
You have an assignment, Josh.
BB
Every-
guns.
Next week, come in and tell us you have to have masturbated to at least one
Whoa.
Does he have to
transsexual.
masturbate or just
I
watch?
don't-
What if
I
it doesn't turn him on?
All right, make the attempt. How about that?
I don't want to know.
Just watch.
That's right.
Just see.
Stephanie's like, this is gross.
Come on, you have to see. You have to see. They made me watch Two Girls in a Cup. You have to see. It's your initiation.
Have to
He
see.
watched. He watched Teeth. He's fine. Similar.
teeth was weird.
There's probably a porn category for that.
So wait, the question again was about spicing up an old relationship or going to get a new one,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, would a new relationship give her more passion?
I don't know what issues you're having, but try new things, and if it doesn't work, go get a new relationship. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, it
Get
depends on
some
how much
teeth.
love she's got for this guy.
Walk into the adult store and
Yeah.
look for the accessories section.
Oh, and if there's kids involved, do whatever's best for them.
Do they have those teeth things in the accessory
Maybe.
section
They might.
at Halloween?
They're more like gums.
Number 4. I have a name in Florida.
I have.
I have a name.
So this person's definitely
Florida.
real.
I have been with him for 3 years. Recently, he has taken to calling me boobs or big boobs. I don't feel good when he calls me that. I have told him about this and he says that I think too much. I don't know what to do.
You
It
think
feels
too much?
degrading to me. Am I thinking too much?
No.
Why are you airing our shit on the air? I mean, I'm just kidding.
They've been together for several years. And
3
he
years,
just
yeah.
recently started calling you boobs.
That's an odd nickname.
Or
Boobs.
big boobs.
What's
My-
up, boobs?
My mind immediately goes to you. You just had a kid, so got some new,
Sure.
Bigger
Appendages, bigger
or
appendages.
you just got a boob job. In which case, same story. Although
What's the
less
context of calling
honorable.
somebody boobs, though? Like,
Well,
hey,
Hey, boobs.
bring me a sandwich, boobs.
Just like that.
Yes.
Or is it like joking around, like
well,
in
she
bed,
feels
kind of?
degraded.
What
That's
does
like-
he know? That is the
That-
big
I
question.
told Dan he's never allowed to call me old lady because he comes from a biker family that calls their wives old lady. I told him I would probably kill him if he ever did it.
wow.
Yeah, that's my old lady. She crazy.
Just say princess. Sounds
She
so
did
much
get the
better.
moniker tonight
That's
of.
my princess. She
Didn't we give her the
crazy.
moniker tonight of princess? Podcast princess?
No, slave
Show
bitch.
mom.
Show mom.
Show mom.
Slave bitch?
That's called Cinderella.
So, hang on a second. I want to go back to that. There was 2 parts to that. He calls her boobs, and then what was the next thing?
He says she overthinks it.
Oh, that's right. You think too much. You're definitely being degraded. I
Yeah,
think
that
that's
is
what we need to focus on here. If he says things like that to you,
good callback.
you are definitely being held down by a
Woman,
misogynist.
stop
Yeah.
thinking.
Hey, big boobs, stop thinking so much. Give me a beer.
Just like that.
Yeah, just start wearing more and more low cut shirts when you go out in public. See how he feels about calling you boobs.
Yeah, but this kind of guy would probably beat her at night for wearing low cut shirts.
This is I have a name in Florida, right?
Yeah, she doesn't want to say her name.
Stand your
Yeah.
ground is a thing. Do it.
Yeah, it's still fine. That's she might not want to get involved in a violent situation.
I would.
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Sorry, sorry about your friend.
Yeah, communicate. That's just talk to your dude. Tell him that this ain't right. Or you know what? Fuck it. Flip the script. Start in public. Start calling him Little Dick.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Were you really?
Yes.
What up, small
I
balls?
was so about
Small balls.
How's it going, Chode? I mean, Chad.
Hey, big boobs. What's up, small dick?
Number 5 comes from Anna in Georgia. I always seem to fall for guys super fast and give my all just to have it end. What are things women do that bother guys and scare them away in terms of coming on too fast?
giving your all too fast.
Damn, that's a huge question because that's very specific to the individual. Like what would turn off me might not turn off Josh or might not turn off Dan. So I don't know, coming off too needy right off the bat and asking him to change his lifestyle and, forcing change upon him usually is probably going to turn guys away pretty quickly.
That makes sense.
That wraps up a lot in one little statement. Coming into his life and asking him to change what he does in his life is probably that would probably turn me off.
I would say changing anything about your life in order to suit him. It's just from personal experience. Like, I always give people the same relationship advice because it's what worked for me. 0 fucking effort. I'm going to hang out with you because we're friends now and we're going to do shit together. And it's going to be with people I know or with people you know. Doesn't matter. We're just going to hang out. And if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just stop trying so fucking hard.
Oh, my bad. I pulled a Josh over here.
I know, I've done that like 4 times.
You mean it? Because I can flip your mic. We'll flip your mic upside down so the cord is above you as opposed to below you.
Then he would be in the upside down.
Then he would. He'd have monsters chasing him.
I'm just going to stop fucking up. That's my approach that I'm going to take to this wiring problem.
I don't know what else to give this girl because it really depends on what she's doing to this guy or to these guys because this is like an ongoing thing for her. It's something that she's seen over and over and over again.
Oh,
She's coming on too strong.
Move out of Georgia.
Oh, yeah, that's another good one.
That's good advice.
Maybe she's just a Georgia peach looking for her Prince Charming.
So here's something kind of topical, both from a friend and from Tinder. You want to know what coming on too strong is? It's going to dinner at a restaurant with all of your friends at the next table over.
Oh, yeah.
And then taking your date back to your house to meet your brothers.
What?
Way too fucking fast.
Yeah.
Oh, this happened?
I don't know if he wants that shared with his
It's our
name
friend
or
in
not.
Georgia?
No.
Oh, okay. I only know one friend that we all know in Georgia.
It's not Trey.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I've had some weird dates, like Tinder-style dates. Like, a girl showed up with a manila envelope at the date. Didn't show it to me for, like, the entire date until the end when she showed me, and it was her children. She was showing me, like, profiles of her children.
What?
And yeah, it was weird.
Did
Yes,
you tell
very
her
bizarre.
thanks, I'm a serial killer?
No, I
Who carries photos of their children in a manila envelope?
Psychopath.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so weird.
I think
Yeah.
that was like the final boss. Like, this date has gone well. Let me tell you about the real me.
It did put a weird air of insecurity on me during the date because that manila envelope was such an object. It was a prop
It's a
on the
strong
table.
power play.
Well, it was very strong. Almost so the feeling that I had was like an interview.
Wait, how
For a
old
job.
was she?
Normal my
That's
age. at the
good
time.
though.
She wasn't like 70s.
No,
Because
no.
then that would make sense. She brought the photos with her.
Yeah, no. This woman brought photos with her, but no, she
You're
was normal
sure.
age.
You're sure.
I'm sure of what? Which part of
Her
my
age. Because there are a lot of doctors and surgeries.
All right. So her age on the dating apps at the time was the same as my age. However,
Did she
Hey,
print
was she lying? I don't
MapQuest directions?
How many
No.
inches from the ground were her boobs?
I never got to see those. So I don't know.
That is a really strong psychological power play for dating, though.
But she
Like-
didn't address it. It was like set on
Right,
the table.
It's just there.
And it's
it
just
could
there.
have been empty. But
Yeah.
It still puts her in the driver's seat of the entire.
So
It was.
doing
It
that
was
our
pretty
next
cool.
date.
That is legitimately diabolical.
If it's with me, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Exactly. The whole date, you're going to be like, what's in that?
Actually,
envelope?
the whole date, I'll say, fucking divorce papers, aren't they? That's what's about to happen.
What if
yeah,
it's a
this
winning
I just got a
lottery
divorce.
All right, guys and gal. Our last one is from Carrie in Florida. Many times when I try and develop a relationship, I get the life has gotten crazy, I have too much stuff to take care of, blah, blah, blah. All the same stuff. I get people have lives and I respect that. I let them know when they can contact me I let them know that they can contact me when they have the time. But then comes the problem. I never hear from them again other than a meaningless Instagram or Facebook like. I also see them making posts and stories about hanging out with other people. I have this urge to call them, but I hold back and not want because I don't want to seem needy. Is the whole "I'm too busy" excuse a load of bullshit? Why can't they just be honest?
They made a movie about this. He's just not that into you. Go watch it. Learn some lessons.
Is this the same girl asking us another question about she comes on too strong? I don't even know where to begin with that. That's the quintessential. If he doesn't reach back out to get a hold of you or communicate that he likes you, then he just doesn't like you.
So if guys say they're too busy, that's basically what it sounds like.
I mean, it's
The
not
"I'm
always
too busy"
the case.
excuse.
But if he says, I'm too busy, and then you never hear from him again, yeah, he don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, if you're like new friends, he don't want to talk to you. If he's like a friend, you call him out on that shit.
But if he's like, hey, I'm really busy, I may be hard to get a hold of or whatever, but then you still hear from him, then maybe he does like you and he's really busy.
If he really, really likes you, though, would any of that busyness really get in the way?
So
Yes.
sort of. If it depends if it's the she asks him, what are you doing next Saturday night? Let's go out on a date. Oh, I'm busy. But at 2 a.m, he's like, hey, what are you up to? Well, he likes you for one thing. He wants the booty call. He's got you on tap to be the booty call as opposed to being the significant other. He likes it for something, but not for everything.
Is that why our dates always ended at midnight?
Damn right.
I mean, it's not rocket surgery. You just, he's either into you or he's not. If he says, I'm not that busy, and you never hear from him again. If he says he is really busy and you never hear from him again, he just didn't want to see you, and he didn't want to be a dick to your face, because people have this really difficult problem with just being honest.
Yeah, telling the truth seems to be hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, people don't want to disappoint anybody. They don't want to let anyone down or make it. They're more concerned of what you think of them, even though you don't fucking like them.
Yeah, the same holds true for the girl who would always seem to push guys away because she was needy or something. I don't remember. But if the guys would just tell her, she might be able to correct her behaviors and her situations.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Also, don't waste your time on somebody who makes you an option and not a priority.
Yeah, that's
Word.
It's kind of what I was going to say about it too. It doesn't fucking matter which one it is. Either they're A, legitimately way too fucking busy for a relationship in your needs, or B, not interested.
Either way, they don't got time for you.
Yeah, that sucks. Move on. Or if it keeps happening, might be an unpopular opinion, but maybe you're boring. And I mean that objectively. If it keeps happening, look at yourself.
Just evaluate yourself or find a different friend group.
Just be like, okay.
Or she should pick up a new nickname. People should start calling her boobs.
No, that's a terrible name.
Why do you have
That could be looked at as catfishing.
Why can't she be Knees?
Head, shoulders,
I think
knees,
that's
or
worse.
toes.
I think that's worse to be called knees.
Yeah.
Nose, cheeks,
Yeah, knees. Knees is pretty bad. Knees would insinuate something else.
cheeks.
I don't know. Just being referred to as just one part of the body is pretty demeaning.
Tongues,
What's
like
up?
lips.
What's up, sweet cheeks? That's not bad. Sweet
What
cheeks
up,
is cute.
ankle?
See, but that's two.
What up, ankle?
So I think it's some weird thing.
That was 6?
That's it.
That was the best
Guyry ever.
Ha ha ha.
That was beautiful, baby. So how do our listeners get a hold of you to have you ask your questions or their questions live on the air?
Message me on Facebook or just write to our Facebook page. Works just fine.
And she is no longer Andrea Joy, some other name. She is now Andrea Joy Poston on Facebook.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to spell.
Yeah, that's true.
Cupcake.
Yeah, she's no longer Cupcake anymore. Yes, she is
But
Poston.
you're still so sweet.
Aww.
Just the icing on top. That's the best part.
You just want some of that tater tot casserole she bragged about.
I didn't hear about that.
Steph is in need for a cut and color.
Aww.
Oh, that was fucking awesome.
No, that. I just traded today. I got back rubs. I got a massage in exchange for some IT work.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. From
Yeah.
who?
Weston.
Weston?
Yeah.
It was a very friendly massage.
Yep.
Yeah, the Pound Town rub down.
That
It's Weston's
sounds
specialty.
dirty. That sounds like the box was involved.
Nah, he's a badass massage therapist. It feels real good. I'm just like, hey, this part hurts. Pointing at my shoulders. Guess what? Doesn't fucking hurt now.
Oh, you guys want to get out of here?
Let's go.
This is Crying Shame from none other than True Phonic.
Yeah, big thanks to those guys.
Oh, hell yeah. Jake's already said he's going to come in. I think he's going to bring all of the guys. So they're all going to come in.
Awesome.
This is not exactly a giant studio to house that many people. But yeah, we'll have to come up with something. But
what we need to do is lean on them as hard as we can to get them to play some music.
I thought you meant in studio, like lean on them.
If we have
Lean
to.
on me.
I'll lean on them until they play some music if that's what it takes.
Well, thank you to our special guests tonight, Mr. Dan, Mrs. Steph. We appreciate you guys coming in.
Yeah.
Stephanie, we're going to see you a hell of a lot more, helping us out with some of our admin stuff for Living Podcariously. We're going to be rebooting Twisted 10, so that will be coming up again here soon. And then I have a little side project of a podcast I'm going to be producing.
Nice.
So, yeah, thank you guys for coming in tonight.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
my services as a professional seat filler stand-in and all-around body in the room are always at your disposal.
You rock.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we've said this already, but we're going to be using our fourth seat without tack. Just going to be bringing a bunch of people in.
Revolving door of dicks.
Yeah, we want to just bring in new personalities all the time.
Maybe another girl. You want another girl on the air with us?
No.
Oh, you don't like that? You like being the only girl?
Yes.
all right.
Who doesn't?
You know, Stephanie is a girl.
It's not the same thing. She's not here with another guyary.
Oh,
Fair.
no.
All right. Well,
She's
guys,
show
Stephanie's
mom.
my friend.
Show
She's not
mom.
an enemy.
on behalf of Living Podcariously, thank you for listening tonight. I am Adam.
I'm Andrea Joy.
And I'm Mr. Wilson.
And now I have to go upstairs and delete all my porn of my ex-wives. So,
About time.
all right.
That was done on
Plural.
the first day.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
I seem to be up past 2. Ain't that the truth? And it's all probably because of booze. That's why it's such a crying shame that I seem to be up past 2. Oh, as my luck would have it, I see I've reached a limit with such a saddening point of view. I'm stripped to my desire of some brand new first impression, just shamefully still crying over you. Still it's a crying shame. I'm still loving you. Ain't that the truth? I know it's all cause of booze. That's why it's such a crying shame that I'm shamefully still crying over you.